Let me ask you something real. Do you ever feel guilty because you know you're supposed to pray on time, but your work, school, and all of the rest of those things keep pulling you away? And you feel guilty because you tell yourself, tomorrow I'll go to the masjid, or tomorrow I'll start studying Islam. Tomorrow I'll make time for the Qur'an, I promise. But tomorrow keeps getting pushed further and further back. It's that heavy weight on your chest. When you realize that you've been more consistent with your job, your Netflix shows, or even your gym routine than you've been with your salah. And I know that hurts. It's got to. But here's the truth. This struggle that you're going through is not just about laziness, as many of us we begin to think. It's deeper than that. And by the end of this video, you'll not only understand why you feel this constant tug of war between the dunya and deen, but you'll walk away with real practical steps to finally create that balance without feeling like you're failing at both. So let me ask you, have you ever felt like no matter what you do, one side of your life is always losing? And this is not something that is strange at all. Just like there's a brother that's in one of my personal growth and development sessions. One of his biggest problems when he first came to me is he was like, listen, I can't figure out how to get my life together. When I'm doing real well with the dunya side of things, my job, being productive, this, that, and the other, then I feel as though I'm neglecting my deen. Meaning when he says this, his recitation of the Qur'an, his reading of the Qur'an, his extra salawat, his fasting. He's like, listen, I don't have time for that because I got to get this done. And yet when I'm doing the deen part of it, my dunya suffers. I can't be as productive as I'm trying to be, as I would like to be. And that's the problem, because then not only does my dunya suffer, but my family ends up suffering. And again, that's a problem. Here's the good news, though. You need to understand that balancing deen and dunya is not about working less, and it's definitely not about worshiping 24/7. It's about shifting your perspective and building a system that naturally puts Allah first, even while you're handling your business and your responsibilities. Now you're asking, Abdul-Lateef, why does this matter to me? Well, I'm going to break it down from those three angles that I've become known for: the personal lens, the community lens, and the future lens. You ready? In terms of the personal lens, when you're unbalanced, you feel empty. Your soul knows that you're not feeding it properly, and it shows up as stress, guilt, or even burnout. You can't really even enjoy your dunya because your deen feels weak, and you can't focus on your deen because your dunya keeps pulling you away. And in terms of the community lens, when individuals struggle like this, entire families and communities weaken. If fathers aren't leading with deen, children grow up seeing the dunya as priority. If mothers are too exhausted to bring Islam to the home, the next generation drifts even further. And in terms of the future lens, if nothing changes, what does life look like 5, 10, or even 20 years from now? You might have built a career, bought a house, and even retired. Some of you might even be my age. Retirement's right around the corner. But if your salat's missing, your Qur'an is dusty, and your children see the dunya as the main goal, what did you really build? Now, I want you to stop for a second, now that I dropped all that on you. And I want you to think about it for a second. Which of these three lenses hits you the hardest? Your personal life, your family and community, or your future? Which one of these actually makes you feel that urgency the most to make the change? Let me know in the comment section. Now let's get real for a minute. You set the alarm for Fajr, but by the time you actually get up and drag yourself out of the bed, the sun's already up. Sound familiar? Or you plan to make it to the masjid after work, but traffic, errands, and fatigue keeps you stuck and you never make it. Or you tell yourself you're going to read Qur'an daily, but somehow TikTok, YouTube, and endless scrolling eats up all of your free time. You want to study Islam seriously, but the thought of adding one more responsibility to your packed schedule feels almost impossible. And then there's that guilt. The guilt of knowing that you're supposed to do better, but feeling like you don't even know where to start. And we've all been there, like I keep saying. So don't, feel as though you're the most horrible Muslim in the world. It's something that's natural. It's something that a lot of us, we've gone through, if not all of us. But I need you to understand that the solutions to this are easy when they're laid out in front of you. And this is what we plan on doing. But I want to tell you about a story first. I once spoke to a brother who said that, he's feeling like he's living two lives. Now imagine this. Now tell me you don't see this in your own life sometimes. At work, he's grinding and putting in hours, but at home, he can barely open the Qur'an. He feels like he's failing in terms of his family and his deen. Tell me that doesn't sound familiar. But here's the truth. Like I said, the struggle isn't that you don't care about your deen. If you didn't care, you wouldn't feel the guilt in the first place. The real issue is that the dunya has a system that's built in to keep you busy, while many of us don't have a system to protect our deen. So let's fix that. Step 1, you have to flip your mindset. Stop thinking of the deen and the dunya as though they were enemies to one another. Islam never told us to abandon the dunya completely. Rather, the Prophet ﷺ, he told us, and you all know this hadith, that your Lord has a right over you. Your soul has a right over you. And your family has a right over you. So give each of them their right. Now, what do we understand about this? This means that balance is not an option. It's a part of Islam. And step 2, anchor your day with the salah. The salah is not just prayer. It's a time management system. If you plan your work, your meals, and your rest around the salah, you'll never forget it. Set alarms, not just as reminders, but as non-negotiable appointments with Allah. Step 3, micro moments of deen. What do I mean? Don't wait for the perfect hour to study the Qur'an or to read the Qur'an. Start with 5 minutes only. Listen to the Qur'an in your commute. Read one hadith before you go to bed. Replace one scrolling session with a short lecture. Small drops build oceans, and I know you heard that before. Step 4, protect one non-negotiable. As we said, one. Choose one deed that you will never compromise for. For some, it might be praying Fajr on time. For others, it might be reading the Qur'an daily, even if it's only one page. Make it your standard. No matter what the dunya throws at you, you're on it. Step 5, reconnect with the community. The dunya isolates you. Islam connects you. If you can't make it to the masjid every day, start with once a week. Join a study circle or even an online class. The Prophet ﷺ said that a man is upon the deen or the religion of his close friend. So let you look closely at who you befriend. You want to surround yourself with people that remind you about Allah. Step 6, dunya with intention. Now pay attention. Here's a powerful shift. Your job, your school, even your family can become worship if you renew your intention. Working to provide halal income, studying to benefit the ummah, raising your children for Allah, all of it counts as deen if your heart is in the right place. Now, I want to hear from all of you, and I want you to be real with me. What do you think is really stopping you from balancing your deen and the dunya, especially with all of these tricks we just gave you? Is it time, energy, pressure, or maybe just not having the right system, which is what we dropped for you? I want you to drop your answer in the comments. I'll read them, and I want to hear from what all of you, the struggles that some of you may be going through. Now, if this message hit you, don't just let it fade away. Take action right now. I want you to like the video so that more Muslims can see it. Share it with a friend or a family member who you know needs this reminder. And we all know people. And most importantly, drop your comment so we can start the real conversation within our community. This isn't about passive watching, as I always tell you. It's about building a life where your Deen and Dunya finally work together instead of being at odds with one another. So let's do this together.